today, Bailey, we're going to learn about patterns. Have you ever done patterns before?
No.
Right. Well, let's have a look at these blocks here. What can you tell me about these blocks?
2 red and green. Then 2 red and...
So what do you think the rule is to this pattern?
Void, 2 red, green, 2 red, green, 2 red, green.
Okay, would you want to continue this pattern for me for a little bit? Continue a bit more. Excellent. If we were going to add numbers to this, what do you think the rule is so far to this pattern?
1, 1, 2. Double 1, 2. Double 1, 2.
Do you want to continue this pattern for me? So can you tell me something similar that you've observed between the block pattern and the number pattern? What is the rule for both these patterns?
To always don't put a yellow there.
Right, so we don't use any other colours. What else can you observe looking at that? It has a rule. Both of these have the same rule. Well, let's repeat what we can see.
Don't put 2s. Don't put 2.
What can we see? So what's the first thing about these two blocks?
They're red.
There's how many of them?
2.
And what is the colour of this block?
Green.
And
2.
how many of them are there?
1.
How many of the red blocks are there again?
2.
How many of the green blocks are there?
1, 2. 1, 2.
So, and then we look at the red numbers here. How many of the red numbers are there?
2
Oh,
ones.
it's a very tricky one, isn't it? Alright, and how many of the green numbers are there?
1.
How many of the red
2.
numbers? How many of the...
2.
Can you see the
1,
rule?
2.
This is what I want you to do, and this is a very tricky part. We're going to extend this. Using that rule, I want you to using that rule to use different colours in another pattern. So what would you do to use the same rule, but you're making a different pattern? Very good. I think you get the idea of that. Do you reckon you could make another pattern and you can use these paddle pop sticks in it as well if you want? Oh, you're going to do some numbers, are you? So I've got a blue here, but I don't have a yellow texture. That's right, I don't have a yellow texture. But if you use the same rule, you can add numbers to it. What numbers are you going to add? You don't have to use 1 or 2, but you have to use the same rule. I have blue.
Yeah, I'm just going to do blue.
Okay. So at the moment, are you problem solving so that you can use the same, so you can use text as for numbers, are you?
Yeah. So,
Now don't use the numbers 1 or 2, you can use any numbers you want. It just has to have the same rule, but a different number. Well done. I think you understand this rule. Oh, good job, number 4. And what goes next with this rule? So what have you learnt about patterns today?
they have to be the same. They have to be same order or it's no pattern.
They have to have a rule to make it a pattern. And what else have you learnt about it? Do you know what word we use when we do the same thing again and again and again? Do you know what word that is?
Repeat.
Yeah, it's so close, you're almost there, so close.
Try.
What were you going to say?
Retry.
Almost, it's repeat. We use the word repeat. So there's 2 things about the pattern. We have a rule, and that rule can be repeated. So you've done a very good job. Thank you for that.